What is up, Fight World? Is your man Johnny, and I'm being joined by Alaska's finest KP, and then we got Adrian, the man, the myth, the legend from the dirty Jersey. Adrian himself. Say what up to the people, y'all.
What's up? What's up?
All right,
What's
cool.
up,
So
everybody?
let's get right into it, man. So let's talk about this Canelo Jamal Charlo situation. What do you guys think? I mean, like, that's a rumor. It's been rumored. Do you think that's fact? Do you think that's cap? Do you think it happens? What do you guys think? Let's start off with KP.
I think it's just crap, bro.
You think
I
it's all
think it's
cap? You
cap.
don't think it happens at all?
I think it's a great fight. I won't say it won't eventually happen. I just don't think it's
Mhm.
gonna be next. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Following social media and everything. I mean, Charlo's in Mexico right now with Regis and his family. You know, they enjoying life right now. They partying, drinking. You know, enjoying life. I don't see him. That don't mean he can't fight Canelo, but I don't. If he's getting a Canelo fight, I would just think he's in the gym right now. Just
Mhm.
my opinion. Like, you got the biggest fight of your life in a couple months. You know, May is around the corner.
Yeah.
So, also, I mean, it could happen because the money's there. From my understanding, Canelo versus Plant did 900,000 pay-per-view buys and like a huge
Mhm.
gate. So PBC could give him another guaranteed 40 million, and it could happen. But really with Canelo, you never know because one thing he has a pattern of doing is he does his fights are not official until like 6 weeks out, and his opponents
Mhm.
use. That's why I say if I'm a Charlo, if I am getting any type of calls, like you might get the Canelo fight, I'm in the gym because like Canelo tried to do a Plant, it's like a 6 week notice while Canelo's already training. If you watch his, he has a pattern of doing that. But
Mhm.
I think it's a hell of a fight. I got Canelo beating Charlo.
Okay. What about you, Adrian? What do you think about that? About that fight?
So it was a few, I think a couple days ago, it was rumored, but there was no like real source. Then it was squashed because they're like, there is no source. And now you got Mike Coppinger, who's, he covers boxing. He's pretty credible. He's got the blue check. He's verified.
Yeah.
He said, I posted the chat. I mean, I did post a picture of his tweet. Um, the thing is with Charlo, I always, this is what I always tell the boxing community is Charlo's never fought anyone yet, you know.
Mhm.
Whereas if you look, so Plant, you have to throw Plant into this conversation because Plant actually fought Canelo
Okay.
and he got the fight, and then Plant at the same time. I know the big story a couple days yesterday, the other day was he said he said he would fight Charlo. It's easy work, and then I know he mentioned at the end of the year, which is kind of laughable because we all know the new year just started and to
Yeah, I didn't understand that. That was
That's
yeah.
a
box.
little
That's
stupid.
So
boxing though.
I'm
That's
only
boxing though.
yeah I'm bringing up that to make the next point, which is these PBC guys for whatever reason I don't it's hard for me to like take their side and anytime in these like potential fights because they haven't fought anybody.
Mhm.
Spence, Tank, uh, either Charlo, actually the older Charlo brother, the younger one actually has a good fight lined up. Like these guys don't really they don't really compete at a high level. They don't
Mhm.
fight the best guys.
Mhm.
So,
I'll say
but
I'll
at
say
the
I'll
same
say
time,
Charlo.
let me just make this last point. I'm only saying it because at the same time, I think Canelo's gonna wait. It's tough for him. He's gonna wait for the I can't pronounce his name. The 175 guy. He fights next month or the end of next month he fights.
You mean the
So
cruiserweight?
he could wait for that, and
You
then
mean
if
the
he
cruiserweight?
wins Cinco de Mayo, boom, he gets another belt, or he fights the next
Hold
best
on, Adrian. Who
available
who are you talking
opponent.
about? Who are you talking about?
The what's his name? I can't pronounce it. It's the one
The
that
cruiserweight?
no one's ever seen him fight.
The
Are you talking
cruiserweight.
about the 190 pounder, the Makabu?
Yeah, I'm sorry, 190. Did I say 175?
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why I was confused.
that's
I
who
was
I
like, what?
meant. He fights end of the month.
Mhm.
So it's either him or I think the next best available fighter is Charlo, not David Benavidez.
Mhm.
That's my opinion.
Mhm.
There's
So
not much of a difference.
Papa
Is
Dio's
Charlo
asked,
better fight?
is Charlo better fighter, or I assume he meant better fight than Makabu. Is Charlo a better fight
Of
than the
course.
Makabu?
Papa, I have no idea, bro. To me, like I mean, it's either fight the smaller guy who's never fought anyone, or fight this Makabu guy who's
All
never
right.
fought anyone.
I don't know. I don't know how you could say that he's never fought anybody. He just like beat the shit out of Derevyanchenko, who really honestly
I meant
was
this
robbed
in
against
regards
Triple
to
G.
elite fighters. I'm not, he's a champion, but listen, I'm saying Charlo is the best option, the best fighter,
Charlo has
the
a
best
better
opponent
resume than
that he could
Caleb
fight.
Plant.
So that's giving him respect. So I know,
said,
like the Canelo haters,
Yeah,
they swear up and down he's ducking David Benavidez. David Benavidez doesn't have a high profile.
he is ducking Benavidez. What are you, crazy?
I'm sorry.
He's ducking Benavidez. His trainer, maybe it's not Canelo himself, but Eddie Reynoso said on an interview, he said, "I'm not impressed with David Benavidez. He's not impressed with David Benavidez. Why should I fight him?" But then he goes and fights guys like Avni Yildirim. He goes and agrees to fight guys like Makabu, but against somebody. You know what I noticed with Canelo fans, bro? Canelo and his fans, every time it's against somebody who poses a threat to Canelo, it's always, oh, who has he fought? Who has he fought? But they have no problem.
He makes Canelo's the shot caller. He's the face of boxing. He does.
I understand.
He gets to do that. It doesn't work. Listen, if you want to win the Canelo sweepstakes and get paid, he makes that call. Him and Eddie Reynoso make that call. David Benavidez, bro, if he's got to fight one of these top guys, he's got to fight Charlo.
Let me cut you off, bro. No, hold on, bro. It doesn't matter who David fights. It doesn't matter what David does. If Canelo wanted to fight David, he would fight David. It doesn't matter. It's all about if you are who Canelo feels he can beat, that's who he's gonna fight, bro. It has nothing to do with if David. Who can David go beat at 168? What a big name. It doesn't. There's no big names at 168. Caleb
Fight
Plant wasn't a big name.
He's not signed. Plant's not signed.
Okay, and he said, and David has said he will fight Plant.
Okay, fight Plant,
Instagram.
bro. Earn it.
On.
That's all
Plant
I'm saying because
hold on.
Go ahead. I'll wait.
Plant is on Instagram trying to fight Rocky Fielding. So we got to stop this narrative. You have to have a big win to get the Canelo fight. You don't hear me?
No, I hear you.
Go ahead. We hear you.
Yeah. Oh, he said cut. Okay. Oh, you fucking me up. Keep saying this narrative that David has to have this huge win to get a Canelo fight. Who the hell has a huge win that Canelo has fought in the last couple of years outside of Triple G? He hasn't fought no big names.
Not many.
Plant is
green. What you're saying is right,
Plant
but
green.
Canelo
has a
picks
way
the fights.
better resume, more experience, bigger fights than Caleb Plant has ever been in. So we got to stop saying Charlo hasn't fought nobody. Charlo did stop J-Rock at 154 when J-Rock was in his peak. Charlo did beat Derevyanchenko. That took Dan Jacobs' life and death. It took one of my favorite fighters in Triple G life and death. Derevyanchenko might not be an A+ level fighter, but he has proven to be an A-, a B+ level fighter who he's right there with those guys, just comes up a tad short. So Charlo did beat him in impressive fashion. And I'm not even that high on Charlo. But Charlo does have solid wins. He is a 2-time, 2-division world champion. He's a big guy. He's going to look very massive at 168. We got to stop I just want you to stop the narrative. He hasn't fought nobody. We got to stop that.
So then here you go. So wait, real quick, Johnny. Drew, you would agree with me when I said the best available opponent for Canelo is Jamal Charlo, not David Benavidez. Yes.
It depends. It depends. Are you talking about like?
There's no. It's an opinion.
Are you talking about?
There's no
are you
right
talking about
answer.
for the legacy? Or are you talking about for like big money fight?
No, not money. The best. Hear me out. Look, I'm gonna use an MMA term because I know it's very rare in boxing.
Okay.
The best available opponent for Canelo Alvarez is Jamal Charlo, in my opinion. I think Jamal's done more than David Benavidez.
I agree.
That's all. I'm making
that's fair.
Again,
that's fair.
What do you want? What do you want Canelo to do? Fight the best available opponent, or not want, but like he's either going to fight the best available opponent or the money fight.
Adrian, I have a question for you. I got a question for you. Who was Caleb Plant's best win before he fought Canelo?
It's not, but that's
No, no, answer the question. Answer the question.
because it's moot.
It was Jose Ustagati.
It
right?
doesn't. No, but listen.
Hold on.
I get. Okay, go ahead. Make your point.
Hold on. So his best win was Jose Ustagati. Who was Jose Ustagati's best win? In which we all remember, which is his uncle put hands on him.
Well, Andre
It was
Dirrell.
Andre Dirrell. Was it Andre Dirrell or
Andre. It was Andre.
It was Andre Dirrell, right?
I won
was
money
Andre-
at that fight. Yep.
Was it Anthony or Andre?
It was Andre.
Okay, so Andre
Andre.
hasn't done much, right? We can agree on that. Good
But
fighter.
guess who beat Jose? Guess who beat Jose? Matt Korbal. Guess who Charlo beat?
Yeah.
Matt Korbal.
Yeah.
Okay, where we're going with this though?
I'm not saying triangle theories matter, but I'm saying, you know what I mean? Yeah, keep going, Johnny. My bad. Keep going.
No, I'm just saying what I'm trying to get at is like Caleb Plant, he earned the right to fight Canelo after beating Jose Ustagati, and Jose Ustagati, I don't even know if I'm saying his name right. Jose Ustagati didn't do anything he didn't really do anything. His best win was Dirrell. Which, like I said,
but the problem
fighter,
that
but
you
hasn't really
Canelo
accomplished
haters,
anything
and
this
I'm
sport.
not a Canelo hater, or I'm not a Canelo fan. He can't be the only one he fought so and so. Bro, these other guys have to face each other too, bro. Jamar Charlo needs to fight Plant or David Benavidez. David Benavidez needs to fight Plant or Charlo. They have to fight each other. It can't just be, I hate Canelo because of whatever. I don't like Canelo, so fuck him. He's ducking so-and-so. Fuck him. Canelo needs to fight him. No, pick someone. Who do you want? Who do you think is the best available opponent for him? You can't fucking say this, he fought a guy. Who did so-and-so fight? No, pick someone. Best available opponent, our biggest payday. That's the way it works. It's boxing.
Payday for Canelo is the same no matter who he fights. He's gonna look for a guaranteed of $40 million again. The biggest fight for boxing fans, the fight that'll sell the most. You put two Mexicans versus each other at 168 on Cinco de Mayo. David Benavidez, an aggressive war machine, versus Canelo Alvarez. Nobody is picking Charlo to beat Canelo. A lot of fans are saying David's the one to beat Canelo. That's the money fight. That's the toughest challenge. That's the biggest fight. Now, is Charlo more? Has he done a little bit more? Yes, but he's at middleweight. He came from 54 and 60. Canelo is at super middleweight. The biggest fight is David Benavidez.
Yep.
Canelo
real quick. With David, which would make more sense? Cinco de Mayo this year with David not really having a high profile win, or let's say Canelo fights Charlo. Let's just say whatever. He fights Charlo, he fights Makabu, whatever. He fights someone else. And then if David beats Plant or David beats Charlo, I think that's then what you're saying as far as money fight, because then it's like, oh shit, like David got a big win. He got the best win of his career. He beat one of these other top guys. Then you make it happen.
But
so
you're
who do you
like
consider?
Go ahead, MMA analogy though, because it's like, and boxing fans don't care about that, because if David goes and beats up Plant, Canelo already did that. Caleb never did nothing. Who cares? They're not going to be like, it's so much bigger. That's not how boxing fans work. Right now, David's name is hot right now. David's name is big. If David goes in there and has a close fight with Caleb Plant, the fight's not going to be as big, because boxing fans are not like MMA fans. MMA fans want to see the best versus the best. It doesn't matter if it's competitive, whatever. Boxing fans right now, they feel David is unstoppable. But if David goes in the ring and shows some chinks in his armor, that's easy work for Canelo. Right now, there's a lot of fans who feel David is the guy that can beat Canelo. The time to make that fight is now.
So right now.
Yes, right now.
Just to be clear, you think the best available fight for Canelo, best available opponent, best as in factor and everything, best available opponent, not money, best available opponent is?
I think it's David, but I'm not mad at Charlo. Okay. I think David and Charlo are like, you can't go wrong with either guy.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, listen, I think if you ask some boxing fans, they'll say run it back with Triple G for a third time. I don't, I think Jamar Charlo deserves it a little bit more than David right now. That's my personal opinion. But
Okay,
if it goes to
that's
David,
fair.
it goes to David. I want to see all the top
Charlo
guys
don't
fight each
deserve
other.
nothing. Hold on. Charlo turned down a $7 million career high pay to fight Demetrius Andrade. Those two is who should have been. We shouldn't even be talking about Charlo. He's a middleweight champion. He is a middleweight champion. Unify your division. David is at 168. He's the mandatory for the WBC title right now. Charlo needs to go do something himself. You got another man that's chasing you around. Fight Demetrius
listen,
Andrade.
you bring up a great point. You bring up an excellent point. There's no arguing that.
And why has
I
Canelo
agree
never
with you.
fought Demetrius
It's just
Andrade?
Yeah.
And I think Canelo beats these. I think he can beat these guys. I'm not saying
Yeah, same here.
This guy
Same here.
But why
I think the David fight. I said this months ago in our group chat. I think David, outside of Better Beeve at 175 and Bivol, I think the only guy that could beat Canelo is David Benavidez.
Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure Canelo and his team know that, so they're avoiding him at all costs. Listen, I understand. I understand boxing is a business at the end of the day. Why should Canelo get in the ring with David Benavidez when he can make 30-40 fighting lower level guys, like not lower level, but less riskier guys like Caleb Plant, like Makabu, guys like that. But at the end of the day, like you can't have his fan base, or you, Adrian, you can't be questioning, oh, what has this guy done? What has this guy done? But you gotta keep the same energy for everybody, bro.
I do, but you have to, and then yet again, if whatever standards you have for Canelo, I want to see that same energy towards, like, Canelo can't be the only guy that's fighting people.
But Canelo's the shot caller, bro.
Yes, he makes the calls.
Put that same pressure
Fuck
on
David
a guy
Benavidez,
like Plant.
bro.
He's not the shot caller.
David
Charlo's
Benavidez
not the shot caller.
should try
David Benavidez definitely
to be
isn't
the shot caller. It's not going to happen by fighting no one and fucking
David
praying and hoping to God,
anybody.
the boxing gods, that he gets a fucking Canelo fight. Bro, become the money fight. He speaks perfect English. Was raised here. There's no reason why he can't promote himself. But he's going to have to fight the top guys too. He's going to have to face these other champions. He can't just wait for Canelo.
Said he will fight Plant 1 million times. David has literally said he will fight Charlo 1 million times. There's not much David can do but say he will fight these guys. These guys are not trying to fight him.
Yeah, he's on the same boat as Andre, bro.
Listen, this is the sport of boxing, gentlemen. This isn't MMA where these guys are forced to fight each other.
Stop putting David's name in that stuff. He needs to fight them. He's the one that's trying to. David has openly said, I'm okay with earning a Canelo fight. David said that in his mouth. I will fight these guys if that wins me a Canelo fight. He's not the one, like Charlo is the one sitting like, I'm not fighting Boo Boo. I'm waiting for the Canelo. His what's his name? Ronnie Shields said, we're only fighting Canelo or Triple G. We're not fighting Boo Boo.
Yeah. Well, if he's
not doing
if
that,
he can't get any of those fights, let's be active. Let's not pull a Bud Crawford and fight once a year. Let's fight 3 times a year, knock out some bums, get some highlight reels, talk your shit on the mic in the post fight, sell out whatever
that's what David Benavidez has been doing, though.
Keep doing it. That's all.
David
what else
Benavidez
has been doing boxing? You can't force these guys to fight.
Okay, so let me ask you, when Omni Yildirim fought Canelo, what did you say, Adrian? Were you okay with it, or were you like, what kind of bullshit is this? Let me ask you.
I think most boxing fans did not sign up to see that.
Oh, I know, but like, did you have the same energy?
Hell no.
No, but yet again, it's kind of it's like apples and oranges. That fight, it is what it is. It happened. Boxing, the sport of boxing. This is what boxing is. It's all bullshit.
I agree. I agree.
Like I said,
you know what? I missed the year 2017, bro.
I'm trying to resolve it. If, like I said, if David Benavidez, if these guys don't want to fight him, make it tough on them. Kind of do what promote yourself in a way where these guys have to fight you. Be active. No one recency bias. It's a thing in the fight game, especially in boxing. If there's a reason why Bud Crawford is still unknown. He's one of the best fighters in boxing, and he's how popular is he amongst the casual fans?
We can't say he's unknown. We can't say he's unknown.
I
Yeah,
meant
yeah.
universally on
I
no,
get
because
what
he's not a
Adrian's saying,
pay-per-view
though.
star.
I
He's
get what
not
Adrian's saying.
selling.
But
He's
nobody
pulling
in
Tank
boxing
Davis
right now is a
numbers, bro.
pay-per-view
Like,
star.
what
We
did he?
have to
How
stop
much did he
saying
sell with
pay-per-view
Porter?
stars.
85,000. Like, come on, bro. Like,
Yes, it was really bad.
you're the best of the best, bro. You at least
Andre
250.
Ward only did 120 versus Kovalev. None of these boxers are pay-per-view stars. MMA
Yeah,
is the
but none of
only
these.
combat sport that
Yeah,
has
but
pay-per-view
who's
stars.
as good as Terrence Crawford? He's got the skills.
Yes, but it's bro. I'm talking about boxing. Doesn't matter how good you. Lomachenko is one of the best ever in this sport. He can't sell. Even Gervonta Tank with all that star power behind him, Floyd Mayweather, Leonard Ellaby, Showtime, All Access. His pay-per-view
Yep.
still did like 40,000 sales.
He would have done a lot better with Rolly.
Maybe a little
I
bit
agree.
better. But
I agree.
Rolly was selling that fight.
He was.
Rolly
He
was
was.
selling the fuck out of that
but
fight.
Rolly is still unknown as well.
Yeah, but he was selling the fight though.
Bro, that fight would have not cracked 100,000. None of these guys are pay-per-view stars right now.
No, I know that, but you have to, in order to be a pay-per-view star, you gotta be active. You gotta know how to promote yourself. And yet again, I think the only solution for a David Benavidez or Andrade, if you swear, up and down, everyone's ducking him. The only solution for these guys is to just keep on fighting, fight the best available guys, and tell people every interview you do, bro, I'm fighting the best. This guy's a bitch. This guy won't fight me. This guy won't fight me. And then, bro, you knock out guys. The media, the narrative changes. When Triple G was doing that early in his career, remember, he was the boogeyman. No one wanted to fight him. And then look, he earned 2 Canelo fights.
No. He didn't earn. No. Let's keep it real here. Canelo, let's keep it a stack.
Hey,
listen, Canelo fans, I love you, but let's keep it a stack. Triple G looked very beatable when he fought Danny Jacobs. All of a sudden, that's when Canelo wanted to fight him. Oh,
hey, if you have to fight down, listen, if you got to pull everybody's
ass, what did Canelo do? He gave him the belt.
If you got to pull Usyk and look bad, like fight down just so you could get these big fights. Listen, if that's what you have to do, maybe that's something you got to do.
Mm-hmm. Okay, hold on. I want to say something though. What you just said. Keep winning fights. Keep talking trash. Call these guys out their name. Show up to their press conferences. And guess who's been doing this for the past 7-8 years? Demetrius Andrade has been doing this since 154 when Canelo Alvarez was mandatory.
Yep.
Canelo did not want the WBO title until Boo Boo was stripped. So then he came back to 154 and fought Liam freaking Smith for the title. Then you go to 160 and I want to be undisputed. I want all the titles. Oh, Boo Boo has a title here. I'm going to 68 now. Boo Boo chased this man. He did interviews. He did exactly what you said. Called him the B word. Came out, you know what I mean? Did all this stuff. He went to his press conference. What does Canelo do? You trash.
You want payday.
Yeah,
payday.
But the problem with Andrade and Canelo is
I'm not done. Hold on.
He's not moving to 168. So it's kind of moot.
Listen. This is what you guys. This was like, oh, he want payday. He's trash. Canelo has to fight Andrade, but then you're not making sense, bro. Because then you turn around and say, win, chase them, talk trash. But then when they do that, he's not deserving. So it's not.
I didn't say he was deserving. I just said it. The fight doesn't make sense. Andrade versus Canelo doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Andrade's going to move up to 168. He's small for 160. Okay, let him move up to 168.
I want to say that.
Let's say they make the fight. He gets his ass fucking killed. He's going to get beat the fuck up versus Canelo.
Maybe.
And then what's going to happen?
No.
You know what's going to happen? Oh, he never fought anybody. Like, it's a lose-lose. It doesn't. That fight. It's not. There's no. I'm not even going to bother even mentioning that fight because it's not going to happen, and it doesn't make sense for it to happen.
If Boo Boo was such an easy opponent, Canelo would have went undisputed at 160 and 168. If he was such this easy
168, he's got a belt at 168.
No, I'm saying he went undisputed at 168, right?
Yeah.
So if Boo Boo was such an easy opponent, like an Adderville or whatever you call that dude's name, Canelo would have handled Boo Boo and got all the belts there too, and then did 2-time undisputed world champion. He knows what Boo Boo can do.
Yep.
Yeah. So listen, I get that, but look, El Guerrero, the dude in the chat, he said it best. He's got to go to 168. If he moves up to 168, right? I'm going to ask you the same question I just asked you 5 minutes ago. Who, if you had to pick one opponent at 168, who's the best guy at 168? It won't be Andrade. I don't know how you can give it to him over David or Jamar Charlo.
It's Benavidez, bro.
Okay, so then there you go.
If you make a poll right now, I dare you go to any boxing group, make a poll and say who would you rather see Canelo fight next, David Benavidez or Jamar Charlo? I guarantee you, everybody, it's going to be David Benavidez that wins the poll. Everybody wants to see that fight.
I get you. I don't know about everyone, but I think the majority, if David probably wins that. Actually, not Jamar Charlo's got a little bit of a following too, though.
He does. But what's the more dangerous fight, Adrian? What's the more dangerous?
I think, as I said before, David Benavidez has the best chance of beating Canelo outside of Better Beef.
So why do you think that Jamar Charlo is a bigger fight?
I think Jamal earns it. I think based on his last fights, I think he's got a little bit better resume. Not much. Yeah, that's basically.
Didn't Charlo? Hold on.
I'm cool with either guy, just for the record.
Was his last fight versus that one Mexican dude who was like a huge underdog and Charlo went life and death? Was that his last fight? Can you double check that for me?
Oh no, that's Jamel. You're talking about Castano?
They're rematching.
No. Charlo's last fight was a cherry pick. Go to his resume right now. I want to make sure I got the dates right. I want to make sure.
Last fight, all his fights.
I give him Jeff Danko was a good win. I give Charlo a good win, but I'm not sure if Danko was last or if it was the Mexican dude last. I forgot his name. So
the last one was, I'll tell you right now.
What was the box correct? He went life and death with that dude, and that dude got knocked out.
You talking about Juan Montiel?
Yeah, the dude that Jamie Montiel knocked out in one round.
Yep.
That's Charlo went life and death with him. So I'm just saying.
And another reason why I want the Jamar fight is because I would rather see, knowing what Canelo's about, which is not fighting the best opponents, more so fighting opponents that he knows he could beat. I would rather see Canelo fight Jamar Charlo instead of Makabu at fucking a bullshit weight class. That's me personally. Because I know he's not going to want to fight
Bridget weight or whatever the fuck they call it.
There's the secret's out. It's not like
cruiserweight.
We all know he doesn't want to fight David. That's a really bad matchup size-wise. Physically, it's a horrible matchup for Canelo.
I think that's a bigger fight, bro. You put two Mexicans, bro. I know Canelo's not undefeated, but he hasn't lost since Floyd.
Isn't he mixed?
Undefeated, bro.
Isn't he mixed?
Yeah, but I think he's Ecuadorian and Mexican, but he's still Mexican.
He does claim Ecuador.
So. Yeah. I think he claims Ecuador more. I'm not sure. I really don't know.
He does.
But either way, it's two Latin fighters. You put two Latin fighters, one of them being undefeated, the other guy not losing in 10, 12 years or something like that. That's a big money fight, bro.
Listen, you want a big fight. If you want a big money podcast, get the Southpaw guy from Instagram, the dude that hates Canelo. Put him on.
That's my guy, bro. That's my guy.
I'll pretend to be a Canelo fan and have fun with
him. Oh man, but.
Looks like he might have dipped.
We lost Johnny?
He'll join. He'll rejoin.
How we lose the main source.
So, Drew, if you had to make a bet, let's say if you had to bet, who's Canelo fighting next?
Probably.
I still feel it might be the cruiserweight dude. I still feel that might happen.
Yeah, what happened? I thought that fight was signed. Didn't they have a press conference?
The WBC, because that Makabu dude has mandatory.
Okay.
So
and he wanted to take step side money.
Yeah, mandatory refuse to accept. Yeah. So.
Oh, well, let's see. Wait, real quick. Let's see. We got Mr. El Guerrero. A real legacy would be beating Money, David, beating Bivol, and beating Arthur. I agree. Canelo's not going to be able to fight those.
Could you imagine those 3 wins in a row? Dude, Canelo's legacy would shoot up.
Yeah.
David Benavidez, Bivol, and
Bivol would be a very close
3
fight.
Undefeated fighters in a row.
Better Beav is too strong, man. He's too big.
That's a dangerous fight.
If Canelo wins those 3 fights in a row, he's over Floyd, in my opinion.
100%.
I don't care.
He's on like Chavez's level.
Listen, check me out, Johnny, with Canelo. I don't feel like he has to fight better beef. I'm not one of these guys you need to go fight Arthur. Unless Canelo goes to 175 and he wants to, I'm at 175, then I'll say that. Right now, I'm staying at the 68 in middleweight. You know what I mean? I'm not one, he needs to fight Bivol, he needs to fight Arthur. No, I don't even see how those fights are that competitive in my opinion. I feel like Arthur's too strong. It'll be fun at first because Canelo's going to come straight. Canelo might have boxing. That's a terrible fight for Canelo. If there's no weight hydration clause, if it's all fair and square, that's a terrible fight for him. He's going to get walked down. He's going to get broken. But Ball is too athletic. His footwork is too good. He's not going to stand in exchange with Canelo. He's going to be in and out. And he's not going to gas. Caleb Plant gasses. That's why I used to always tell people before when it was the big fight was supposed to be Caleb Plant versus David Benavidez. I told everybody I like Plant. He's very skilled. He's sharp. But as the fight gets after 6 rounds, he fades. David would literally break him down and stop him within 10 rounds.
Wait, real quick, let me ask you a quick question, Drew, because you guys kind of mentioned a good point. If Canelo Jamar Charlo gets made Cinco de Mayo, Canelo stops him, okay, or beats him convincingly, whatever. And then September, October, let's say David and Plant fight. David wins that fight. Canelo beats Jamar Charlo, Cinco de Mayo. End of the year, beats David Benavidez. Is he the GOAT?
No. Why would he be the GOAT?
I'm
not
asking.
the GOAT,
What more would he
absolutely
need
not.
if he's not? If those 2 wins, he gets those 2 wins. What more?
First of all, just me humbly, I wouldn't. My opinion, Muhammad Ali is the GOAT. He's who I'm saying. Whoever even inspired me to want to sit and watch boxing. I would never call any other fighter the GOAT over Muhammad Ali.
Respectfully, okay, I understand. But,
I feel the same way.
What about the best fighter in this era then?
But you got check this out though. I feel Canelo lost to Lara. I feel Triple G beat Canelo. I see this man failed 2 drug tests. It's a lot of we cannot just go off the wins.
And Floyd washed him too. We can't forget about that.
Well, if we're gonna go off
listen, no one's got
a
perfect resume, but
no, it's not.
The point I'm trying to make is
the losses. It's a lot. We can't just say the wins on. We have to look at all the controversy too before I can give him the plaque of best fighter of the era. Because in my opinion, Canelo's still doing what he does. If you catch my drift, I still think so. I don't think 100%. I don't think he's been clean. You know, that dude is not clean, bro. Yeah. And it was crazy because I said it before he even failed. I said it before he said it.
It's just crazy that he just moves up and down weight classes, takes no effect on him.
And he
goes up,
but he's still fighting.
Muscular, he's still fighting. Fat around him.
He still has a really, like, compared to other boxers, who's doing it better than Canelo right now?
What do you mean? Why? What do you mean?
Who's more? If yet again, I just want to stop the Canelo hate because yes, he's not perfect, but he's super active. Listen, he's not always gonna fight a top guy, but you got to give him some respect. I did. And you know what, bro?
You know what, bro?
He walked him down.
I was a very big fan of Canelo, bro. When Canelo was coming up, before he got the Floyd fight, this dude fought Austin Trout, right? Black, undefeated, slick fighter. I was like, okay, you know, Canelo's doing his thing. He fights Floyd, loses to Floyd. Understandable. Floyd, some people consider him the greatest of all time. You know, there's nothing wrong with losing to Floyd. All right. Then after that, who does he fight right after that? Erislan de Lara. And I'm like, all right, Canelo lets his nuts hang. You know what I mean? Those are 3 slick fighters back to back that this guy is fighting. And then after that, it just went to shit, bro. It's just downhill.
It just went downhill. Lost for Canelo with the drug testing. Canelo is a hell of a fighter. He is a great counterpuncher. He's a good fighter. I don't take that from him. His fan base is beyond annoying in the drug testing and all the controversy. How did you go from I'm too small to fight Triple G at 160 to I'm fighting cruiserweights? I'm knocking out light heavyweights. I'm breaking bones in people's faces, but I could not hurt an old Shane Mosley. I could not hurt Austin Trout. I could not hurt Lara. I couldn't hurt the smaller guys.
Yep.
But I'm at.
He couldn't even wobble Miguel Cotto.
Not and Cotto's tiny. And Cotto's tiny.
Yeah, Cotto's tiny, bro. Cotto's like 5'6" or some shit like that.
But now you went from getting walked down from Triple G to trying to walk Triple G down. I mean, I don't know, bro. It's a lot of.
And Guado Pesado said, he says you don't get more power and speed at 31 naturally, and I agree 100% with that.
Yeah, but you know what?
That shit develops when you're in your early 20s.
Where were you guys 15 years ago or 10 years ago when Pacquiao fought what's his name, Marquez, the fucking when he was 40 years old and his whole back is all pimples and shit, and he turned into a fucking Super Saiyan, you know?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Canelo did test. You know, he did piss hot.
Yeah, he pissed hot.
Marquez never did.
I know.
And as much shit as I give Pacquiao, Pacquiao never failed the drug test. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's a whole other topic with the Pacquiao.
So this is a little bit different.
I can go on that one. Because Pacquiao wasn't stopping people no more. He was beating the bigger guys with speed and accumulation of punches. So it's totally different. Canelo has built this Triple G type punching power out of nowhere.
And the thing with Pacquiao too, he selected the right guys at the right time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he wasn't like fighting Antonio Margarito in his prime. You know what I mean? Like he was beating these guys after they were coming from brutal losses and shit like that.
Yeah, Pacquiao's resumes, I love it. He's got
it's great resume. But it's different. Because this guy actually did piss hot.
Resume ever.
Yeah,
top
for
5
sure.
best resume.
The amount of guys he fought
Canelo
in their
pissed hot,
prime
though.
is just people got to put some more respect in his name. And bro, he was willing to fight Errol Spence. You know, Spence pulled out.
For sure. But check this out, though. Not only did Canelo test positive, 3 other fighters from his team ended up testing positive in the prior years.
Yep.
So all camps, they all cheat together because they're all in bed.
And then Andy Ruiz went from 300 pounds to like 190 like this. Fuck, bro. I was like, shit, put me on that. Goddamn, I want to lose some fucking weight.
Tacos.
You know what I mean?
They say it's tacos.
It's crazy, man. So
what's the next topic,
and then he wins Trainer of the Year. How do you win Trainer of the Year when all your guys are testing hot? Like
it means nothing.
Crazy,
that award
bro.
Means nothing anyway.
That I know, but this is like Jesus. And then they give Fighter of the Year to Canelo Alvarez. I thought Kamaru Usman 100% earned that title. It should not have been given to Canelo.
Nah, but these awards they're all bullshit. Anyway.
I know, but
we
it's
all know
like, really,
who the best is, and
you
can't compare sports. That's the problem, though. You can't.
I can't compare sports. Kamaru was the number 1 MMA fighter. I want overall, and Canelo. I'm not mad if they say he's the number 1 boxer this year. You know what I mean? I thought Usyk being the underdog and fighting the giant heavyweight and dominating him was a better accomplishment than beating the green Caleb Plant.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Usyk's 1 win against Joshua is better than anything Canelo has ever done, ever in his fucking career, ever. You know, that's just the way I feel.
True.
I really feel like
opinion,
over Joshua was
in
better
my
than anything
opinion,
he did.
On paper, Canelo's best win is Triple G. On paper, that's his best win. When you go look at his resume, but I don't feel like he won that fight.
Yeah, I agree.
He won the first fight. The second fight, it was like
he won the first fight.
The first fight, he won 100%. He won it easy.
Hey, 118, 110, never forget.
Nah, hell no, fuck out of here. Hell no. I remember.
I was like, yo, what are you
Nah, bro. I'm not, listen, I would never make myself look that stupid on my own stream. But listen, I remember when the first fight happened, I had so much money on Canelo, bro. I think I had like $800 on it. Yeah. And then like as the fight is going on, like round 3, I'm feeling good. I'm like, oh, Canelo got this. Then all of a sudden, Triple G just starts taking over. The bell rings, the 12th round, and I'm like, my heart's beating. I'm like, yo, my wife about to kill me when I lose all this money. Thankfully, they called it a draw. I was never happier in my life.
Thankfully, bro, I had $700 on Triple G. I was nervous, man, because I was like, when they took too long to say the scores, and then when they said what was it, the draw? No, it was the 118, 110 or something crazy for Canelo. I was like, oh, I'm about to lose so much money on some bullshit.
Yeah.
I bet on Triple G the first fight.
I was like, no fucking way. I was like, wow, did they do Triple G dirty? That was
But
crazy.
Adrian, I do give Canelo respect as a fighter. He's a hell of a fighter. I never take it away from him. But
I know. It's just he's one of those polarizing fighters that you either like him or like I don't want to say that he's not that he has these crazy fucking fans that are like think he's the greatest fighter ever now, and then at the same time I feel like he has more haters though. Like there's just people that hate like that boy V like no matter what, Canelo can't do anything right.
Yo,
what do you expect, bro? Look at the shit he's been doing for half of his career. Like
No, I
I
know,
can't
but
blame you
there's
for
got to
not
be.
liking
You
that.
have to be. You have to be fair, and you have to be honest with yourself. Like
It's the controversy
he's not
with it.
perfect, but Mayweather wasn't even fucking close to perfect. Canelo's resume now is better than Mayweather's. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Canelo is what he is because of Mayweather. You know, he
Yeah,
created this whole
No,
bullshit with cherry picking.
No, Floyd has a better resume.
100%.
Okay, we'll see.
He,
We'll
he,
see
he beat,
in 2
he
years
beat
from
Manny.
now.
No, because you just said right now. You said right now.
Yeah, I think right now you can make an argument that
Manny
Canelo's is
Pacquiao
better.
win. Manny Pacquiao win. Floyd beat Manny
Okay.
Pacquiao. That's better than anything that he's done.
And most of Canelo's biggest wins, like Mosley and Cotto, Floyd already beat him too.
I'm not a Floyd fan either. Yeah, everybody that Canelo ended up beating, Floyd did years first. So we can't say he has better. We're not going to do that. You know,
He ain't fight Margarito though.
And neither did Canelo's.
I know. I'm pointing that out. You're like, you know.
That's another topic. But Floyd had his career. But we just talking about resumes. Canelo versus Floyd. We can't say it's better right now. We can't do that.
Okay,
Floyd does have a better
see.
resume.
We'll see when it's all said and done in a few months or in a few years from now.
Hold on, Adrian.
Where they stand.
This is going to be another topic that we will discuss: Canelo versus Floyd's careers and resumes. Because I feel like I'll school you on that. Because I feel I'm unbiased on either guy. Because I don't care for Floyd and I don't care for Canelo. I feel you have a little bit biasness towards Canelo, and I feel that you dislike Floyd a little bit. So that's going to be an easy topic that we're going to run hopefully later this week or next week.
There's nothing to run. It's more so just me like making a broad statement. Like it's not significantly better, and you're talking about a guy who's had a way longer career. If you compare them at the points of like where they're at career wise, Mayweather never fought a Canelo at the point where he was at when Canelo fought him. You know what I'm saying? So
well, hold on. I feel like that's a little unfair because Canelo had more fights than Floyd, and by then he had already beaten.
Fuck all that because we all know those.
No. But he had fought some
Canelo's
veterans.
early
He had fought
career
Mosley, Kermit Cintron. He had beaten Austin Trout. He had some really good wins on his resume when he fought Floyd. Now it doesn't. The Canelo right now is not much more different than the one before. He still struggles with slick fighters. He still really fights the same way. He really does. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't pose the style that can beat Floyd. Even right now. At prime Canelo
Mayweather still has
Canelo's
name in his mouth every fucking chance he gets.
I get what Adrian was saying right there. Hold on. Johnny, I think you took it as he was saying that Canelo was green when he fought Floyd, because a lot of people keep saying that, which no, you're right. He wasn't green. He was an elite fighter at the time. But what Adrian says, Floyd never fought a young elite fighter. You know what I'm saying?
At the time frame, before obviously all the belts and everything, Mayweather Mayweather didn't face a Mayweather
like when Floyd
early
was younger,
in his career.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because listen, you have to understand that was a big fight for Canelo.
But at the time when Mayweather was Canelo's age, the Mayweather of his era was Roy Jones Jr.
But you don't want to go by age because it's a different, like Mayweather, did the Olympic. It's Canelo started a little bit. You don't really want to go by age, but I get what you're saying.
Well, but around that time, like when Floyd was, up and come or whatever, the Floyd Mayweather of his era was Roy Jones Jr. and a whole different, he was like 4 weight classes higher than him. So there was really no Mayweather in his.
Well, I do remember Andre Ward saying he would fight Mayweather. You guys are a little bit. You're not. I think you're older both tonight, but I do recall that was a story years ago. Listen, I remember that being years ago.
Bro, I love Andre Ward, but at the time, like anything he could do for clout, bro. Anything he could do for clout, he'd do it. You really think he was gonna drain himself to fight Floyd? I mean, maybe for the money he might have, but
I don't know. I mean, listen, I was younger. I was like 19 at the time. Like, I was a true fight fan. I watched everything. I still watch everything now, but I would watch just anything and everything that was on.
Yeah, so. No, Floyd, bro, there was not Floyd, Ward. There was a point in time where I swear to God, the guy was just trying to stay relevant. Anything he could, he'd say anything.
Yeah. I mean, that's why he attached his name to Triple G.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah,
like he really faked like he was gonna try and fight Triple G. Little G, called him Little G, all that stuff, whatever. Yeah, I mean, he would have starched Triple G if they would have fought, but like that shit was never a possibility.
We'll see.
You know?
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, the problem is, I know at the time, that's a whole topic. I mean, for years, people were arguing Triple G versus Andre Ward for years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's not get on to that. That's a whole.
That was an annoying. That was an annoying topic. I hated it back in the good old, the prime of the boxing Facebook groups.
I remember there was a time where they were calling Kovalev Triple G's bodyguard when Kovalev and Andre Ward were getting ready to fight, and that Triple G versus Andre Ward buzz was still going around. They were calling Kovalev his bodyguard. That shit was
even though Triple G used to beat up Kovalev in the gym.
You said what?
Triple G used to put hands on Kovalev in the gym. It's well known in the boxing.
That's what I heard. That's what I've read. I've read similar reports.
No, I
he messed up. Yeah, get on Google.
And apparently he used to put hands on Canelo too in sparring as well.
And he did in the real fight. And he did it when he was 36 years old. I mean, it's not hard to believe. You know what I mean? But let's save that Triple G and Ward topic another time. I can get on that one. So we're gonna save that one.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so moving on, pretty much. So let's jump into MMA, man. And Charles Oliveira and Kamaru Usman. Suppose I don't know if that shit is true. You shared it on this group chat. Is that actually confirmed?
MMA fighting, it's not confirmed, but MMA fighting is reporting that they may be making that fight.
Okay, so if that fight happens, how do you see that going? How do you feel about that fight?
Oof, Drew, that's a loaded question.
I don't even know nothing about that, to be honest. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, bro. I'm on news to me right now. I've never even took the time to think about that matchup. That's a weird one to me because I don't feel like Oliveira is that great. I feel like he's good and he's got I don't know, bro. I think Kamaru dominates him.
15 pounds is a lot of weight, man. For those those smaller guys, 15 pounds is.
Yo, he would stop Charles, bro. Because Kamaru Usman's hands have got a lot better. He would stop Charles, bro. I don't care for that at all.
Yeah, but really? The argument I was making yesterday, Drew, I know you weren't on the call. I mentioned it yesterday, I hinted, and then of course today I wake up and I see MMA fighting is reporting. I would rather see Usman versus Dubronx over Usman versus fucking Leon Edwards. I am sorry, bro. Listen, I'm sorry, but we may have to sacrifice Charles Oliveira. We may have to sacrifice him because I really don't want to see that Leon Edwards fight.
No.
Damn.
Oh, look, we already said Oliveira wins.
We already saw it years ago, and like as you said, not much has changed. Kamaru has gotten a little bit better.
I'm saying one of the fans, one of the people commented, Charles is going to get mauled in one round, and then Oliveira wins. Listen, I'm not going to deny Charles Oliveira, man. What he's done this run that he's on, he's a bad man. Yeah. If I had to bet, obviously I would bet Usman, but I wouldn't be surprised if Oliveira goes in there and
I would be surprised.
It would be shocking. It would be one of the craziest wins of all time. I mean, people need to stop disrespecting Charles Oliveira, man.
I can't see it happening. Oliveira doesn't
picking Usman to beat Charles by brutal fashion, or is not disrespect because we're going up a whole different weight class. This is
no, I agree. I'm just saying. I'm saying in general. You got people that think Charles Oliveira is gonna lose to Justin, like it's not gonna be close, and I'm just like, bro, he just fought his fucking clone.
Whoa, and who? And Dustin?
Dustin and Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje.
Justin has got a lot better. Hold on. I'll say this though. Justin has got a lot better and smarter defensively since the last when he fought Dustin.
Since Justin they fought, I agree with that.
So I can't really talk his clone.
Well, wait. Dustin has better defense or Justin?
Justin's defense has gotten better since the Dustin fight.
I couldn't tell because he almost got knocked out in that fight. What? Not Chad. What's his name? Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler. Yeah, Michael landed that fucking right hook, bro. Clean.
But we know Michael has power though. He almost stopped Oliveira as well.
I know. He does. I get that. But defense, I think, like I said, both guys are very similar. So like I just need people to chill with the Charles Oliveira hate. That's all I'm saying.
Will Justin gas out? Hold on. Will Justin gas out like Dustin did?
You know what? I think Justin Gaethje's got a better gas tank than Dustin.
Exactly. Justin is going to stop Charles Oliveira.
Okay, we'll bet on that. If it gets signed.
Ooh. So
stay hydrated, my brothers. Drink water.
So if Oliveira, stay hydrated. Real men drink water. So really quickly, if Oliveira does win against Usman, how does he do it? How do you think
the fucking world ends, bro? If he wins that fight, MMA gets flipped on its fucking head.
Pretty much.
Submission, Johnny. The only way that he would win, it would be submission.
But
he would probably catch him and then submit him.
And Charles Oliveira were in the gym. Let me check this. If Usman and Charles Oliveira right now got into a gym and they're just rolling on, right, with MMA practice, right, everybody's going partner to partner, rolling around. Oliveira has the jiu-jitsu to submit Usman. And a fight is a little bit different, but he can submit him. You know what I mean? The size difference. I've seen freaking featherweights submit heavyweights in the gym. I mean, it's, you know what I mean? We're just talking pure jiu-jitsu. Oliveira does have the jiu-jitsu to catch Usman's submission. If Usman does not take Charles Oliveira serious, and he comes in, if he gets careless with the wrestling and gets caught in the guillotine or something, that's the only way that he would lose that fight. So what's your question of how would he win? If he did win, it would be freaking submission. That's the only way.
Do you see it happening? Do you think it happens?
No, I think Usman would stop him.
You think Usman stop first round like everybody else is saying?
Charles gets hit between the first or two, like Charles gets hit way too easy.
Yeah, way too much.
And Usman
I thought against Dustin.
Hey, Usman gets hit too.
Yeah, but Charles doesn't throw punches like Usman. Like he doesn't box
it's
like
a tough
that,
fight
bro.
it's a tough fight.
It's
a tough fight for Oliveira.
Charles is very stiff.
Yeah.
I mean, I respect the fight. You know
I think the size difference is just too much because Usman's already one of the biggest welterweights ever. And Charles Oliveira is not like 15 pounds is a lot, man. It's a lot of fucking weight.
Yeah, like how this guy says, he says size matters. The odds will be super stacked against Charles. I've seen him wilt and quit against 145 pounders.
No, Pete, stop with that. Come on.
We gotta stop the quits now. We do gotta stop the quits.
Stop. That's disrespect, man. Like you'll get slapped if you say some shit like that. I think you said that, Jude. Didn't you say that? You said that a couple of months ago. Like I forget, someone said some stupid shit about a fighter, and you were like, "You'll get slapped if you say that shit."
No. I told you that Francis and Gil sparring was very sloppy, and I stand on it. It was very sloppy sparring.
Yeah,
that's what I said. That was I've never moved on the Charles quit at 154. He's a quitter. Like no, I've never, because you can't do that. Like you can't.
Doesn't make sense.
Like he's fought Michael Chandler. He had the opportunity to quit versus Chandler. He didn't quit. He fought Dustin Poirier. He was in positions where he was getting hurt. He could have quit. You got to stop the quit narrative. You're not gonna quit. You're gonna have to stop him. You're gonna have to stop him or outpoint him. He's not gonna quit.
So predictions of it, because I'm almost certain that the fight does happen. Are we all in agreement that Usman beats him? Easy, not easy, maybe not easy, but he stops him.
I think he wins. I'll leave it at that.
You don't think he stops him?
Yeah, I mean, 25 minutes is a long time for a much bigger guy to be in there. Usman's not losing to anyone outside of like Israel Adesanya. Like Usman's not losing to just anybody. You know, he's already the best fighter, arguably the best fighter in all of the fight games. So
I 100% agree, which is why I was upset when he didn't get Fighter of the Year, which I know is meaningless, is bullshit, but I really thought he deserved it. But hey, what are you gonna do? Yeah, you know, people just suck.
I mean, as I said, I would rather see that than the Leon
MMA Fighter of the Year, right? He got MMA Fighter of the Year.
I believe so.
I didn't hear that.
So, I mean, we can't compare boxing and MMA. I mean, so
no, I know. You know. I get that.
Yeah. Usman is the number one MMA fighter. I think he did get that award. So I think he didn't losing fighter overall. We can't compare boxing and MMA because I mean, if you put Canelo in the cage with Usman, he's gonna get ragdolled. If you put Usman in the ring we're gonna be seeing Usman leave the ring on a stretcher. So we can't even compare the sports.
Mhm.
They're both, you know what I mean?
He really wants that fight. So
So
No.
Septimiu Fly, I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. He says, who do you guys think won, Costa versus Vettori? I saw it for Costa.
I have Vettori winning that fight.
Would you have it,
I
Jew?
missed that. I missed that fight.
Did you?
That was a great fight.
Oh, so
Yeah, I
you,
guess
so
I
you
missed
said you
it.
have Vettori? Or Vettori, sorry? Adrian.
I had Vettori winning that fight, and I don't even think it was close.
Oh man, what?
I
Who,
seen highlights.
I missed it too. Who did they give it to? Was
Vettori
it a
won.
draw?
Costa
Vettori-
didn't even make weight. They fought at
Yeah,
195, Canelo weight.
Yeah, that was
They
crazy.
just picked the fucking.
Canelo weight. He said Canelo weight. Holy shit! All right, well, hey, I'm gonna thank you guys for coming in, man. I'm gonna end the stream. I gotta go upstairs and finish some work. But we're gonna do it again on Wednesday. I was telling Adrian you weren't on yesterday, Jew. I'm gonna have my MMA coach on here. And he's gonna join us. We're gonna have some good conversations. And not only MMA, he's also a boxing coach too. So we're gonna spice it up and bring both in. And I'm gonna give you guys the topics on tomorrow night, and then we're gonna go from there. All right, yo.
All right, bro.
All right, thank you for everybody
Good night,
who
guys.
watched. I think we had like 85 people watching at one point. But
Nice.
thank you to
Oh,
everybody
wow.
who watched. Thank you. And then don't forget to turn on the bell notifications for every video, guys. Subscribe, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. And I'm gonna holla at you on the next one. Peace.